Let's talk about one of the most explosive geopolitical stories happening right now, a story simmering just beneath the ice. It's got everything: a giant frozen island, global superpowers, and a secret that could literally reshape our world.
Yeah, that's the kind of statement that shocked the entire planet. A sitting US president talking about a military takeover of a friendly nation's territory. It sounds crazy, right? But the real question is, why?
Because here's the thing, this obsession with owning Greenland, it is anything but new. In fact, it's one of America's oldest and most stubborn ambitions.
I mean, just look at this pattern. It starts way back in 1867, right after the US bought Alaska. Then they tried again in 1910, then again in 1946, when President Truman offered $100 million in solid gold. That's over $1 billion today. And of course, again in 2019. 4 tries, 4 big failures. So, you have to ask, what is so valuable about this massive sheet of ice that America has been chasing it for more than 150 years? Well, the official story, the one they want you to hear, it all starts with national security.
Publicly, it's all about defense. The idea is that Greenland is like an unsinkable aircraft carrier parked in the Arctic, a critical forward base for protecting the U.S. homeland.
And this map says it all, doesn't it? Geographically, Greenland sits smack in the middle of the shortest path for any missile flying between Washington, D.C. and Moscow. Whoever controls Greenland essentially controls the high ground of the North Pole.
And America is already there, in a big way. Pawtucket Space Base is a massive installation. Its powerful radar is basically the tripwire for any missile attack coming over the Arctic. Plus, you have all these critical undersea internet cables connecting North America and Europe that run right past its coast.
Okay, so here's the twist. If the US military is already there, if the bases are already built, why the desperate need to own the whole island? This is where the official story starts to crumble, and the real story, the one about unimaginable wealth, begins.
Because as the planet warms and Greenland's ancient ice sheets begin to melt, they're uncovering a treasure trove. A treasure so vast, it could determine who leads the world in technology for the rest of the 21st century.
To really get why this is such a huge deal, you have to understand the situation right now. China has a near total monopoly, controlling a staggering 90% of the world's supply of rare earth minerals. You know, the stuff that's in literally all of our modern technology.
But Greenland? It turns out it's sitting on a geological jackpot. Massive, untouched deposits of all of it. The neodymium you need for electric cars and wind turbines. The gallium for the next generation of AI chips. The uranium for nuclear power. It's all there.
And it's not just tech metals. Geologists figure there are over 31 billion barrels of oil under the northeast coast alone. And that's before we even start counting what's under the rest of the island.
So suddenly, the real strategy snaps into focus, right? Owning Greenland isn't just about defense anymore. No, this is a direct play to shatter China's resource monopoly and lock down the raw materials needed to build the future.
But believe it or not, as insane as all that wealth is, there's something else hidden in the Arctic. A prize even more valuable than all the minerals and oil put together. Something so big it will fundamentally change global trade forever.
Because the ultimate prize, the real secret obsession here, isn't what's under the ice. It's the brand new ocean that's opening up on top of it.
Look, for centuries, if you wanted to ship goods from Asia to Europe, you had to take the long way around through the Suez Canal. But as the Arctic melts, a new shortcut is opening up, the Northwest Passage. And the numbers here are just mind-blowing. A trip from China to London gets slashed from 21,000 kilometers all the way down to just 12,000.
This is a complete game changer for logistics. We're talking about chopping off nearly 2 weeks of travel time and saving millions of dollars in fuel costs on a single voyage. Now multiply that by thousands of ships every single year. And guess what sits right at the entrance and exit of this new maritime superhighway? Greenland. Controlling Greenland is like controlling the new Suez Canal or Panama Canal of the 21st century. It's the ultimate economic choke point.
But, and this is a huge but, chasing this prize, especially by force, comes with an absolutely astronomical risk. A risk that could unravel the entire global order that's been in place since the end of World War II.
And here is the ticking time bomb. Greenland belongs to Denmark, a founding member of NATO. The entire point of the NATO alliance is built on one simple promise. An attack on one member is an attack on all of them. If America attacks its own ally, that promise is shattered,
and the whole alliance could collapse overnight.
Just think about the dominoes that would fall. The NATO alliance, which has basically kept the peace in Europe for over 75 years, gone. Global trade would be thrown into absolute chaos. The very idea of international stability would be on the brink.
And maybe the most dangerous part of all? It would send a message to every powerful nation on Earth that international law is a joke. It would signal a return to a brutal new era of conquest where you can just take whatever you want by force.
So that's the ultimate question we're left with. The melting ice is without a doubt uncovering immense wealth and strategic power. But is it opening a door to a new age of prosperity, or is it uncovering the frozen front line of the next world war?